All right, again, welcome to tonight's school board meeting, and we'll now call this meeting into session. I do have a change to the agenda, and then I'll be looking for a motion to approve the agenda. The first change is to, we have deleted item 3.1, the recognition of the Baker girls volleyball team, and we hope to have them at another time, maybe on February the 12th. So at this time, colleagues, I need a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bryant.
A second.
Second by Dr. Kelly. Any discussion? There being none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. All right, let's move on down to recognitions. 3.1, deleted, recognition of Baker Girls School volleyball team. We mentioned that. 3.2, recognition of the 2024 Elementary Assistant Principal of the Year, Jordan Berry, presented by Superintendent Chambers. Superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and School Board. I first want to start off by saying we have 4 recognitions and 3 appointments tonight, so that's 7 schools that are here represented, so it's almost like a reunion with so many folks here. So it's nice to look out and see teachers, support staff, administrators all coming together to honor these folks. And I want to first say, I think it was about 2 years ago, Dr. Hale came to me and said, you know, it's a blessing in this county where we have amazing ed support professionals and teachers, and we recognize them through our ed support professionals of the year and our teachers of the year. And why don't we do the same for the administrators? So about 2 years ago, we started on this venture, and one of the pieces that we were not represented with was at the state level with administrators. And now we have the ability to do that as well through this program. So with that being said, I want to start with, like you said, our Elementary Assistant Principal of the Year. I'm going to share a few words and a couple quotes as well. So Mr. Jordan Berry says, I use the school performance plan, student data, and MTSS to embed the needs of each student as a guiding value to inform organizational decision making. The teachers and I work collaboratively to build a plan that will effectively meet the needs of each student. We make sure that individual student needs are met and work together to come up with tools and strategies to work with these students. And that does embody Mr. Berry, but one of the things when you go to Lewis School and you go into that front office, you do not necessarily see Mr. Jordan Berry because he's out in the classrooms, he's out and about in the campus, and he is an individual who's a hard worker and absolutely has a heart for students and his teachers and staff, and that's something that we couldn't be more proud of. So Mr. Jordan Berry, if you would come forward. And you might have a few words, and he shared with me earlier he had a 15-minute speech prepared, but so he was going to temper it down a little bit.
Told you I'd cut that short.
That's right.
Just want to thank you guys for this opportunity. I couldn't thank my mentors, Fantasky, Dr. Driver, Miss Smith. I worked with her for the last couple of years. She's been amazing. I mean, there's a lot of great administrators here, and it's an awesome honor to be here. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Kelly? Okay.
Come on, Liz.
Where is Ms. Smith and Dr. Chapman? If you come up.
All right, thank you. All right, so moving on to item 3.3, recognition of the 2024 Secondary K-12 Assistant Principal of the Year, Lucretia Waskow, presented by Superintendent Chambers. Superintendent.
Thank you, sir. And again, I'm going to start off by reading a couple quotes first. The success of our students is our mission and we are vigilant in the service of that. Making data-driven decisions ensures that students are given the highest opportunity to succeed. Students know that if they need help, I'll make time for them. Kids know I'm for them, as do the teachers. We must always be for the students, and all decisions must be based with them in the forefront of our minds. And Ms. Wasco, again, another administrator who very much cares for students first and foremost, but also her teachers and staff. Another one, if you go to the school, she is a doer. She's someone who the teachers and staff can absolutely depend on, and she's someone that her principal can depend on as well. And I would also be remiss if I did not say that not only is she the assistant principal of the year at the secondary level for Okaloosa County, she's also named the 2024 Assistant Principal of the Year by the state of Florida. So Ms. Wasco.
Sounds so much better when I have time to write it out. I just want to say thank you to the board just for letting me be a part of all these schools that I've been a part of. I've had great mentors currently and in the past, and they've all led me into places I want to be and then continue to grow me. Mr. Genezo is still in Tallahassee. He does send his regards. I didn't say that, I'd be remiss, so I want to put that in there. But I also want to say thank you to all my teachers and students who continue to push me to do my best every day. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that brings us to 3.4, recognition of the 2024 Elementary Principal of the Year, Mr. Jason McClellan, Superintendent Chambers.
Thank you, sir. Mr. McClellan, I think everybody who knows this gentleman, he is a person that when you're finished with the conversation, you're going to smile. And just a couple quotes. As the principal, I want to lead by example. At Mary Esther, we have 4 school expectations that all of our students, staff, and parents are expected to follow. Those 4 expectations are to be positive, prepared, respectful, and responsible. Each morning we say our Thunderbird Pledge, which includes these 4 expectations. And some of you might know, or you might not, that Mr. McClellan is not the principal of Mary Esther Elementary anymore. Now he's the principal of Pryor Middle School. And I'll just say, this is a gentleman who I believe served approximately 7 years at Mary Esther, and you look at the growth of him from the very beginning to where he ended up with absolutely fantastic, an instructional leader, cared for and loved by his students, his teachers, and staff, and someone that when you say, who is an educator, you can definitely say Jason McClellan. So if you'd come on forward.
Thank you, Mr. Chambers, and thank you, School Board, for this. This is an awesome time and very exciting time for me, going from elementary into the middle school, which has been awesome. Just thank you to the principals I had when they helped me, Dr. Kelly, Mr. Palmer, Mr. Spolsky. Without them, I definitely wouldn't be there today. But a shout out to the Mary Esther staff, because it takes more than just the leader at the school. They're a huge part of the success there at Mary Esther, so a huge shout out to them. So very excited. Thank you.
Your hands may look funny.
That's right.
Thank you. And then item 3.5, recognition of the 2024 Secondary K-12 Principal of the Year, Mr. Charlie Morello, presented by Superintendent Chambers. Superintendent.
Thank you, sir. Going to start off with a couple quotes again. And this is by Mr. Morello. Building and maintaining a strong school culture that emphasizes the overall well-being of our stakeholders breeds student success. As the instructional leader at Niceville High School, improving student learning is my #1 priority. I have consistently communicated the importance of shared leadership and emphasized the role that everyone plays in determining the success of Niceville High School. And you go back probably 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, this gentleman comes to Niceville High School and he embodies energy, enthusiasm. He's someone who absolutely cares about the students at the school to the point where you walk down the halls, he knows the students by name. And I think that's something that students really care about. He is there for the parents, but he's also there for his teachers and staff. And I think if there's 4 nighttime events, you might see him at 4 nighttime events. So this is someone who cares about Niceville and cares about this school district, Mr. Morello.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, school board. 3 quick thank yous. First of all, to my wife, Mrs. Allison Morello. So she taught for 18 years in room 622 at Niceville High School, 9th and 11th grade English, a little AP Lang sprinkled in there. And then I got promoted and wrecked all that. So always appreciate and never get past that sacrifice that she made so I could be the head Eagle. And then my administrative team, the teachers there, and my principal buddies. I don't have all the answers. Most days I don't have any. But I have a lot of people I can call to lean on and talk to and get through things. And then lastly, Superintendent Chambers. My first 15 years were in Walton County, which was great. But I was principal at Emerald Coast Middle School. That was about 2 hours of commute. That was a quality of life, things that was suffering there. So when Mr. Chambers, then Assistant Superintendent Mr. Chambers, gave me a call that a potential job opening was happening in Okaloosa County, it was time for me to come home. And I will always appreciate you reaching out and making that happen for me, sir. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
My in-laws are here too. Come on down, John. Phoebe, want to come? Come on. There's my favorite eagle right here. Stand next to my mom, right there. There you go. See if you want to stand here. Okay.
Everybody just keep smiling.
All right, thank you. And that concludes our recognitions and takes us to Section 4, Administrative Personnel Appointments. 4.1, Appointment of Assistant Principal 2, 10-month at Elliott Point Elementary School, recommended by Superintendent Chambers. Superintendent?
Thank you, Mr. Chair and School Board. I bring before you Miss Marina Minucci. Miss Minucci, originally from Rome, Italy, relocated to the United States at the age of 19. She graduated from Eastern Washington University with 2 bachelor's degrees in 2010 and an MBA in 2014 from the University of Tampa. In 2021, she furthered her education by completing a master's in educational leadership at the University of West Florida. Ms. Minucci embarked on her professional journey as a high school math and CTE teacher in North Carolina. In 2018, she made the move to Okaloosa County and began teaching CTE programming courses to students in 6th through 8th grade at Pryor Middle School. Throughout her tenure, she took on various roles such as curriculum writer, department chair, mentor, track and field coach. In 2023, she was nominated as a top 3 teacher of the year for Okaloosa County. Recently, she served as the Dean of Students at Wright Elementary. Ms. Minucci is married to Sergeant First Class Philip Pacino, who currently serves in the United States Army's 7th Special Forces Group. They have a daughter, Lillian, who is 2. Ms. Benucci is thrilled, upon being appointed, to be joining Elliott Point and is eager to wholeheartedly contribute to the community, faculty, staff, and students. Ms. Benucci.
Thank you, sir. Colleagues, I need a motion.
I'll be happy to make that motion.
Motion by Ms. Gardner.
I'll second it.
Second by Ms. Evancheck. Any discussion? There being none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Chambers and the members of the school board for this opportunity. Thank you to my family, my husband, for being here tonight. Thank you to the incredible leaders and mentors of this county that I've had the honor to learn from, Ms. Barron, Mrs. Smith, Ms. Massey, and Dr. Driver. I appreciated your help, and you truly made a difference in my life. It has been a year of growth, and I want to say a special thanks to Ms. Boyd and the Wright family who I had the pleasure to work with. Ms. Boyd is an incredible principal, and I will be forever grateful for her guidance and leadership. But now it's time to soar, and I'm excited to serve the community and the staff at Elliott Point under the leadership of Mr. Nuss. Thank you.
Thank you.
Where is Mr. Nuss? Any Elliott Point family want to join the picture? Come on.
Lead director.
Everybody just keep smiling. I'm gonna take a bunch because somebody's gonna blend. So we're taking pictures, just keep smiling. Couple more, one more. Got it. Oh, there we go.
All right, thank you. So now we go to item 4.2, appointment of principal, Richburg School, recommended by the superintendent. Mr. Chambers.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and School Board. I bring before you Mr. Thomas Harvell. In 2010, Mr. Harvell began his teaching career at Rutherford High School as an exceptional student education teacher and athletic coach. He taught a self-contained ESE high school class with students possessing a wide range of varying exceptionalities while coaching football and weightlifting. In 2013, he joined Okaloosa County Schools and taught an ESE social studies class at Crestview High School. In his 6th week of teaching, he was offered a position as a TSA in the discipline office and assisted with various administrative responsibilities. In 2014, he became the assistant principal of discipline and facilities at Crestview High School and has served in that position for 10 years. He works closely with the social studies department as well as the science department as their immediate administrator, among other responsibilities. Mr. Harvell earned his Bachelor of Science degree in physical education from Florida State University. He received his master's degree at Middle Tennessee State in sports management and also a specialist degree in educational leadership. Mr. Harvell is passionate about all students having the opportunity to get their education while reaching their potential and finding success at whatever their future goals may be. Mr. Harvell.
Thank you, sir. I need a motion.
Dr. White, I'll be honored to make that motion.
Motion by Mr. Bryant,
I'll second.
second by Dr. Kelly. Any discussion? There being none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Congratulations.
Amazing. It has been a long, long journey. I am humbled. I'm incredibly blessed to be in this position and have the opportunity to serve all the faculty, students, and stakeholders of Richburg School. I would like to thank the board for allowing me this amazing opportunity, and Mr. Chambers for your guidance, leadership, and opportunities that you've provided for me to help me grow. Thank you. Professional learning that's been provided on the job from the senior staff, Mr. Horton, Dr. Hale, Ms. Lightbourne, and many other coaches and administrative staff. In my early days with coaching, I've been around great leadership from Bobby Bowden and Mickey Andrews, all the way to my current administrators, and some before include Dexter Day, Ella Shaw, Holly Tooth, Jay Sanders, Allison LeVictor, Ben Kimbrough, Kim Dunn, Sears. There's so many more people that have made the difference. Principals around the district such as Dr. Driver, Dr. Kelly, who have spent time with me sharing experience at their schools during their busy days. Many teachers and department chairs like Katie Blands, Lisa Kimbrough, John Contry, and support staff such as Barbie DeMera, who have taken the time to all teach me something that I can take with me. Many counselors, all amongst some of the finest SROs that I've ever seen, and I am very proud to call them my friends. I am forever grateful for their experiences with them all. Most of all, I want to thank my family. They have supported me my entire life. I would not be where I am without them. I thank them all. I will miss my Bulldog family moving forward, and I've been wanting to say this for a long time. Everybody else gets to, so now it's my turn. Once a Bulldog, always a Bulldog. But now it's time to move on, move forward, and I have the chance to join a new family and become a Richburg Lion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harvell.
Our Richburg family, Ed, Donnie, Amy, Gary.
And then can you come up front? Sorry.
Missing a face right there. We go.
Okay, are we ready? All right, we're gonna take a bunch, so just keep smiling. One more. Got it. Thank you.
All right, thank you all for being so polite. We have one more appointment, and then I'll call a brief recess to allow folks to depart if they wish. All right? Item 4.3, appointment of principal, Shalimar Elementary School, recommended by the superintendent. Mr. Chambers.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. School Board, I bring before you Miss Amy Clue. Miss Clue is a product of the Okaloosa County School System, where she attended Wright Elementary, Bruner Junior High School, and Fort Walton Beach High School. Miss Clue began her teaching career at Oak Hill Elementary in 1997, where she was named Teacher of the Year for 2003, and was a top 3 County Teacher of the Year finalist. From 1997 to 2011, Ms. Clue served Okaloosa County students at Oak Hill Elementary, Eglin Elementary and Kenwood Elementary before being named assistant principal of Blue Water in 2011. Mrs. Klug became the principal of Blue Water in 2015. She was named Okaloosa County Elementary Principal of the Year and Okaloosa County Principal of the Year, representing our county at the state level in 2020-21. It is with this experience Ms. Klug serves as a mentor to new and future administrators through our Level 2 program. Ms. Klug completed her bachelor's degree from Huntington College in 1996 and her educational leadership degree in 2000 from the University of West Florida. Ms. Klug also earned her National Board Certification in Literacy. This past October, Ms. Klug was named a Huntington College Alumni Loyalty Award recipient, and she also now is the honorary commander for the 87 EWS and the 350 Spectrum Warfare Wing on Eglin Elementary. Excuse me, Eglin Air Force Base.
Big difference.
I'm sure Eglin Elementary too. Ms. Klug.
All right, thank you. So I need a motion, colleagues.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by
Happy
Ms.
to.
Gardner,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Bryan. Any discussion? There being none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Congratulations, Principal Klug.
I made notes this time, so I wouldn't go off the cuff. I want to first thank my family, my parents, my in-laws, my husband Mike, and our boys for always supporting me, and especially my parents and in-laws for always carting everybody around. I especially want to thank Ethan. He has been my road warrior with me the past 12 years, either in the infant car seat, either a backseat driver, or now he's my personal assistant in the front seat, answering calls and text as I drive. So a big thank you to him. Thank you to the Blue Water faculty and staff and administration, both past and present, for preparing me to be the leader that I am today. Thank you for Team Shalimar already. So I want to thank Ms. Nutt, Mr. McElroy, and Ms. Gilmore for making me helping with this transition. Thank you to everyone who came out to support me tonight. They offered to object. I told them it's not a wedding. So I do want to thank Mr. Chambers and this board for your confidence in me. And go Dolphins.
Shalimar family, if you'd like to come forward.
Everybody see me. Everybody just keep smiling. I'm gonna take a bunch. Smiling. We'll do one more. Thank you.
All right, Superintendent, do you have something else?
And the last thing I'd like to say, as we're sitting up here watching all of these appointments and recognitions, I just want to thank the different teachers who are here, staff who's here. It is very noticed. It's very noticed. All the administrators who are here who aren't necessarily represented at these schools, but also those who are. But those who are not represented at these schools, the fact that you're here supporting each and every one of these individuals, this is what the school district is about, so just couldn't be more grateful. So thank you to each of you for being here and taking part in this.
Thank you, sir. All right, with that, I'll call a 2-minute recess for you to get out those doors. And we're now at Section 5 on public comment. I have no blue cards turned in. Section 6, committee and staff reports. 6.1 was an item for information only. 6.2, out-of-county travel was information. And then 6.3, those would be short-term facility use contracts. And I'm looking for a motion. I don't see one on this.
I think they're all.
Yeah, I think they are.
Yeah.
We'll have to work on that a little bit. All right, 6.4, quarterly report service agreement under 10,000, and then 6.5, State of Florida State Board of Administration, Local Government Surplus Funds Trust Fund, Florida Prime, and External Investment Pool for the fiscal year 2023 and June 30, 2022 financial audit. Now, is that one that requires a motion?
No, so this is all information only.
All right, okay. All right, consent agenda. Item 7.1 will be the approval of the consent agenda. I need a motion.
So moved, sir.
Motion by Mr. Bryant.
I'll second it.
Second by Ms. Evancheck. Any discussion? There being none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Let's go ahead and go down to Section 8, Superintendent's Human Resources Recommendations. 8.1, information only, employees on administrative leave. And then 8.2, information only, deferred retirement option program. 8.3 is the out-of-field report for the 2023-24 school year. We need a motion, as that's recommended by the superintendent.
So-
I'll move it.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Evancheck, second by Mr. Bryant. Any discussion? There's none. Let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 8.4, request to advertise a public hearing for revision of School Board Policy 06-34, retirement, presented by Dr. Hale and recommended by the superintendent. Need a motion.
I'll move it.
Motion by Ms. Gardner,
Second.
second by Mr. Bryant. Any discussion? There's none. Let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 8.5, forgiveness of workday for employees due to inclement weather on January the 9th, 2024, presented by Dr. Hale and recommended by the superintendent. I need a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bryant,
Second. Oh, go ahead.
second by Ms. Gardner. Any discussion? There being none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 8.6, employment separations presented by Dr. Hale and recommended by the superintendent. Motion, please.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bryant,
I'll second.
second by Dr. Kelly. Any discussion? There being none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 8.7, personnel recommendations presented by Dr. Hale and recommended by the superintendent. Motion, please.
I'll move it.
Motion by Ms. Gardner.
second.
Second by Ms. Evancheck. Any discussion? There's none. Let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 8.8, employee transfers presented by Dr. Hale and recommended by the superintendent.
I'll move it.
Motion by Dr. Kelly.
I'll second it.
Second by Ms. Evancheck. Any discussion? There's none. Let's vote. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries 5-0. 8.9, employee suspension presented by Dr. Hale and recommended by the superintendent.
I'll move it.
Motion by Ms. Evancheck, second by Dr. Kelly. Any discussion? There's none. Let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 8.10, leave without pay presented by Dr. Hale and recommended by the superintendent.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bryant,
Second.
second by Ms. Gardner. Any discussion? There's none, so let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 8.11, reinstatement reimbursement of sick leave due to line of duty illness, injury, medical examination presented by Dr. Hale and recommended by Superintendent Chambers. I need a motion.
I'll move it.
Motion by Ms. Gardner.
second it.
Second by Ms. Evancheck. Any discussion? There's none, so let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. No items on the discussion agenda. 10.1, construction program owners representatives business. Dr. Kelly?
We will have a meeting next Monday, and we'll have a representative report for you at that time.
All right, very good. Thank you, ma'am, for doing all of that.
Certainly.
All right, that brings us to section 11, attorney's business. Mr. Attorney.
Mr. Chairman, one item tonight is a request by the firm of Gray Miller Persh, who are the FCC Specialist Counsel that we use in the district. They're asking for an adjustment in their rates. That's on the desk in front of you tonight, and we would recommend that for approval.
I'll move that, Dr. White.
Motion by Mr. Bryant,
I'll second.
second by Dr. Kelly. Any discussion? There's none, so let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now, I'm going to interrupt our business here because someone just passed me this yellow card. Was this
Yes.
just turned in?
Yes.
I thought the rules stipulated that we weren't accepting them once we were in session. Is that correct, Mr. Attorney?
Supposed to be turned in at the beginning of the meeting.
All right, so that one will have to come back another time. All right, so moving now to board members' business. And I know, Ms. Gardner, I started with you, but you're on my right, so if you don't mind, I'll call on you first.
I will be happy to, and I mentioned I would have something tonight. I left my little cheat sheet at home this morning, and this was too important not to have all my notes, but I want to congratulate the Fort Walton Beach High School Health Occupation Students of America. There's 36 students that are in this club, and they competed this past weekend at the Emerald Coast Region competition in Pensacola. This is a group of 36 students. They have spent countless hours preparing for this competition. There were 500 plus students that competed in health-related events, medical math, EMT, veterinarian science, biotechnology, forensic science, and many other events. And our students competed in 19 categories. And of these 36 students, 29 of these students placed, and 21 qualified to move on to state because they placed in the top 3. And that is pretty amazing. When you have a group of 500, and congratulations to all 36 for participating, and all of these students, and we'll be watching these top 21 as they move on to state, and we know there's great things for them. And just to thank the teachers and the coaches that put the extra time in with these students to prepare them. And I'm sorry, my computer. I mention often what a powerful football team, sports program we have over at Fort Walton Beach High School, but what they're doing with the CTE program, with the biomedical program, and what's being offered to these students, I mean, they can take, and we know the need in our medical field, they can move on to a technical school or move on to more years if they want to further their education and go into something more medical. But what an opportunity these students have to participate in this biomedical. And And I see Ms. Horton sitting out there and others and what they do to offer these students. And Mr. Chambers, thank you for your vision in this, but the opportunity that these students have going forward. And we might be seeing some of them as we
I was just gonna
enter
say,
the
we need
doctor's
it.
office. We sure do. Absolutely do need them. So congratulations, and we'll be watching, and I will be sure to report
Yes, ma'am, very
how
good.
they come out.
Thank you, Ms. Gardner. All right, Ms. Evancho.
Yep, just one thing, the Baker Jazz Band is going to do a Valentine's night dinner and dance on February 10th. And that's a great event. You can find all the information on the school's website and on their Facebook page, so that'll be great. And don't forget, 8 o'clock, you can still get that Chick-fil-A sandwich and support Baker School with that. And Mr. Bryant, I see you didn't come through, but
Because I was trying to get down here and it was before 5, so you know the traffic situation in Crestwood. so-
We would have allowed you to be late, because I was,
we didn't start till 6. But
I
anyway,
was
no.
expecting dinner.
Thank you, Mr. Bryant. We know you would have come
Yes.
through if you could, so thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Evancho. All right, Mr. Bryant, with that, I'll let you follow.
Well, to my board and colleagues, I apologize, I let you down. But
You can always make it up, Mr. Bryant.
I am, I'm gonna be traveling.
that was
I'm gonna
coming.
be traveling for the next
Yes,
few
you are, and
days,
we appreciate
representing the
it.
school
We
district.
appreciate
so-
you. We appreciate it.
No, I said everything this morning. It was just awesome tonight to see all the recognitions and promotions and all. So, you know, some great people, some great teams out there. And it is reading week this week. And I did have the opportunity to read at Wright Elementary this morning. And then tomorrow I'll be at Laurel Hill in the morning. And then we got a ribbon cutting at Crestview. So exciting time. And just look forward to another great week in Okaloosa County School District.
What'd you read today?
It was called, it was about a dragon and a raccoon learning how to read. I cannot remember the name of it. But I read it to 2 classes, and it's a really great book. So it talks about being friends and, you know, reaching out to the new kid in the school and all that, so.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they probably brought their friend a sandwich.
Number 1.
Just kidding you. We appreciate you, Mr.
I
Bryant.
know.
All right, very good. Thank you, Mr. Bryant and
Thank
Ms.
you.
Evancho. And Dr. Kelly.
Thank you, Dr. White. I promised not to mention Chick-fil-A. I'll just add, in addition to those things that I said this morning, Richburg Middle School has a spirit night this Wednesday at Peppers from 5 o'clock to 9:30. So Wednesday night, you can have dinner at Peppers and show some Ram spirit. And I'll just add, finally, that I'm so proud of all of those that we recognize tonight. And I noticed the APs and Principals of the Year, 3 of the 4 we recognized were in the Central Zone. So while we're proud of all of them, certainly proud of ours in the Central Zone. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you, Dr. Kelly. Well, so I have a couple of announcements. I mentioned them today in the workshop, and these pertain to Choctawhatchee High School. And so the Northwest Florida Daily News made the following selections in football. Cole Tabb from Choctaw was selected as the large school's offensive player of the year. Isaiah Johnson from Choctaw was selected as the large school's offensive newcomer of the year. And the Northwest Florida Daily News also selected Frank Beasley from Choctaw as the large school's coach of the year. And Ms. Evancheck, I think that he might have been one of your students also.
Yeah, I taught him everything he knows about the football. We had English football, but anyway, yeah, no, I'm very proud of Coach Beasley.
I know you are. All
And
right.
everyone at Choctaw
Yep,
with those
yep.
awards.
Yeah. And then finally, in addition, the All Sports Association, which is a big organization, does a lot of good work for our schools and our kids and our athletes. And they have made or named the 2024 male and female Scholastic Award winners. And they are seniors, Titus Cornell and Lauren Beige, both from Choctaw.
Wow, that's
So
awesome.
congratulations to
Yeah,
these student athletes and to Coach Beasley.
That's fantastic.
All right, so that concludes board members' announcements and brings us to public comment. Section 14, this will be a 2-minute version.
Mr. Chairman, one clarification, when
Yeah.
you asked earlier, the card has to be turned in prior to the beginning of the section on the agenda where that comment would be
So
made.
then, so we're saying then the yellow cards can come in as late as
Yes,
right
sir, as
now?
long as it's before you call it up.
All right,
for-
what about blue cards?
Same on those. Those have to be turned in prior to the section on the agenda where they would be heard.
To that section, that particular agenda item then?
No,
Right, yeah, when
yeah.
we get that section.
The section when we have public comment, they would be turned in prior to that public comment section. Yes, sir.
Okey-doke. Then we'll take that one back.
Yes,
since
sir.
we already have it filled out.
Yes,
And
sir.
we'll go ahead and do these. And I would ask, Mr. Attorney, if you would take a look at and give me and perhaps the school board some of your legal counsel regarding this particular section of public comment. If this might be something that is added later on the agenda or maybe perhaps handled in a different matter. And I would appreciate that feedback so that, I don't know if it would require an action of the board to do such, but that's why I wanted to ask you about that publicly. So that if it does require an action, then this board, you would inform them and they would be prepared to make a decision. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with these in the order that I think I was handed them. All right, the first one is Madison Rabines, I believe. And would you come forward, and then Mr. Attorney, you'll provide some direction regarding the rules.
Yes, sir. For our speakers tonight, you'll be allotted 2 minutes for your presentation, and you must be recognized by the chairman. We'd ask that you state your name and address for our record. Remarks and statements should be addressed directly to the chairman and not to individual board members. Concerns raised should be related to educational issues in our school district. Personal attacks against officers and personnel shall be excluded from your presentation or discussions. Items pertaining to personnel matters are typically handled by the superintendent and are not routinely heard before the school board. And speakers and all the public attending our meeting tonight are requested and expected to act in a respectful manner. And with that, you'll have 2 minutes, and I'll be keeping the time for you.
Wonderful. Well, thank you guys. My name is Madison Rabins. You were close. I live at 623 Kilcullen Drive here in Niceville, Florida. And first off, thank you guys so much for everything that you do, and happy School Board Member Appreciation Month. I'm here today to just thank you guys for everything you do and brag a bit about the students in Okaloosa County and you guys and all your hard work. I work for Incubate Debate. We're Florida's largest no-cost debate league. Just a Saturday or two ago, January 13th, we hosted our final regional tournament here in the Panhandle. And throughout this year, Okaloosa County students have done phenomenally well. Member Bryant can attest, he was there to judge this last one. The students from Okaloosa always do a phenomenal job. And I know that's in part thanks to all the hard work that you guys do. So I just want to come here, thank you guys, and shout out our amazing students from Okaloosa. We had 3 students from Fort Walton Beach High School qualify to our national championship in April, one of whom, Mr. William Kiker, is here, if you can raise your hand. A student from Collegiate High School, Miss Genesis Jimenez Chavez, also raise your hand, was our Incubator of the Year nominee for her exceptional leadership, passion, and recruitment during this season's tournaments. And we also had students from Crestview High School come out to our tournaments with a brand new team this year. Their coach, Mr. Michael Dingus, won our Coach of the Year award, and we have Mr. Declan Harnett from Crestview also here. The students in Okaloosa always do a phenomenal job, and it's thanks to you guys and all your hard work. So thank you so much, and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you, and let's give
Thank you.
those kids a hand.
And I was at American Legion, and William, you, I think, I know, you won the debate, or no, it wasn't a debate, the presentation there, and very nice job, so kudos there.
And I think Miss Genesis there, she was the overall winner at the Crestview one. Am I not, is that correct? Were you the overall winner?
There was technically not an overall winner.
Okay.
But I was awarded Incubator of the Year.
Okay, that's what I saw then. Yeah.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I did. I actually got to sit and watch her do her thing, so yes.
Well, and kudos to the teachers back at the school that, because I know I did speak to your teacher, or your coach at the event, and they really put a lot of time in working with these students, so congratulations, and thank our teachers also.
And I
Coaches.
think this board remembers these individuals have been here before.
Mhm, last
They're
year.
always so kind, respectful, and we appreciate that. We've also had at least one individual meeting with them and staff, and just excellent beyond their years.
True leaders,
True.
role models.
Yep. All right, very good. All right, so I have a card from William Kiker, who is also here from Incubate Debate. Would you come
William.
forward?
Hi, once again, I'm William Kiker, 554 Coral Court in Fort Walton Beach. Before I begin, I'd like to quickly apologize for not wearing formal clothes to this meeting. I thought that I would have time between, going to school and then coming here to change. And then we had a NEO meeting to finalize our presentation. We're going to be sending you an email about that very shortly. But I never had the chance to change. And so Ms. Brownsberger back at my school does this thing called the Wheel of Punishment, where if you do something that's not a discipline, that's not a discipline problem, but still something you shouldn't do. Like we had a student who chewed gum during a speech in a debate tournament, something like that. If you do that, you get to spin the wheel of punishment, and they give you assigned seats or something like that. I'm sure I'm going to be spinning that wheel very shortly. So I'd like to quickly apologize about that. But I would also like to thank you guys for the incredible amount of support that you have given to speech and debate in Okaloosa County. Your support, your investment has made speech and debate in Okaloosa County an exceptional community, an exceptional program. Okaloosa County students are not just dominant regionally. We don't just win tournaments here in Northwest Florida, but even when we go down to the peninsula of Florida, even when we go out of state, we perform exceptionally well. Okaloosa County students have incredible support, incredible opportunities, both from their schools and from the school district. I'd like to thank you guys for that. I'd like to thank my coach back at Fort Walton Beach, Ms. Brownsberger. Fantastic product of, well, she didn't go to Okaloosa County Schools, but she works for Okaloosa County Schools. Good job hiring her. That was a good idea. But yeah, I'd just like to generally express my gratitude to the board and to everyone in the Okaloosa County School District for the support that you guys have given to speech and debate in our county. Thank you very
Well,
much.
William, maybe we can write a pass or something for you, because you're always so professionally dressed, and I know with your bow tie, maybe just keep one in the car.
Yeah.
And if you ever just need to clip one on real quick, but maybe we can write some kind of a pass, because.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think she would accept that.
Okay. You can just play this back on the.
Yeah,
for her
exactly.
on the, that's what we were taping right now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, young man.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it. Very good. All right, so the last yellow card I have is from Ms. Courtney Casas, is that correct? Okay, well, good for me, huh? Come on forward, and I'm sure you heard the attorney provide the rules.
Yes,
You need us
sir.
to go over them, or?
No, I'm
you-
good. My name's
Okay.
Courtney Casas. I live at 4594 Nautical Court in Destin, Florida. I'm going to give you a lot of information. It's a long story, so I'll be following up with an email with court documents and parent statements. So I'm going to try to rush through this in
You
2
got 2
minutes to
minutes.
get everybody out. So my name's Courtney Casas. I have a 7th grader at STEM Academy and a 2nd grader at Destin Elementary School. I'm here today to represent my 8-year-old daughter, as well as all the other children in my community of Regatta Bay, with their parents' permission, of course. Ever since the 2020-2021 school year, we've been having issues with the afternoon bus. Our bus is consistently late. It's rare for our bus to be on time. Double routes happen frequently, requiring our children to be on the bus even longer. Just last week, both Wednesday and Thursday, our bus had a double route. We don't get any warning when this happens, which leaves parents scrambling to try to get children afternoon activities, pick up siblings, or manage work schedules. For the past 3 years, a group of us have been picking up our children at different stops on the bus route. We followed policy, submitted a note, and there hasn't been any issues. Fortunately, this year, an elderly woman from that neighborhood decided she didn't like we picked up our children there. Ourselves and our children were harassed, called names, and had the police called on us, to the point the sheriff strongly suggested we get an injunction. We currently have a no contact order through the end of the school year. In violation of her injunction, she's having her neighbor and friend, who's the HOA president, take up her cause. Without approval of his community, he contacted Jay McGinnis, requesting all bus stops be removed from the neighborhood. This wasn't an option, so Mr. McGinnis decided that we should no longer be allowed to pick up our children there. These are public roads. 5 different officers have told me I'm not harming anyone by parking there for 10 whole minutes to pick up my child. Nowhere in Okaloosa County policy does it say the head of transportation has the right to say where a child can get off the bus. Yet Mr. McGinnis threatened to stop that little girl from getting on the bus at the school if I want to. According to transportation policy, a child can be removed for disciplinary reasons by the school principal. This whole problem was caused by the transportation department. I would love to be able to pick up my child in my own neighborhood, but I don't get the choice of the bus routes or the drop-off schedule. It's no secret that Mr. McGinnis is retiring in November, and because of his unprofessional behavior, I'm formally requesting he resigns so that someone can be put in his position
All right, we're gonna
and
call
fix the
time, ma'am.
problem.
I'm sorry, and.
It's fine.
And I have
Thank
to
you
do
for your
that
time.
because if I don't, then I'll have to let everybody else go over, so.
I was finished, but thank you guys for
All
your
right,
time.
thank
I
you.
appreciate it. Thank
And
you.
so, Superintendent, I'll refer these questions and comments to you, as you're in charge of the school district's operations.
No, absolutely, and I would say for the board, and of course, I think there's already been some communication with district staff, so I appreciate that, and we'll also follow up and have some further conversations. I appreciate it.
I have a quick question also. Ms. Cuss mentioned that there's no warning when buses are late. So, and I totally understand we are short bus drivers, our drivers are having to do double routes. When they're late like that, the bus call-out system, is that implemented during that time, or so that parents do know that
So
they're having
ideally,
to-
that program should be implemented.
Okay.
If buses are late, they should receive a text message. I'm not sure if all those are signed up.
Okay.
So I'd have to look into that further,
Okay.
because that's what's going through my mind.
Okay, all right, because that would help that.
I am signed up and I do not receive.
And you don't receive those, that might be.
If I do, it's 30 minutes before where I don't have an option to make any other choices.
If that
All right,
could
I
be-
will look into that.
Superintendent, would you follow
ma'am.
back up with us regarding that notification system so that we'll answer Ms. Gardner's question?
And I know
Absolutely.
I've sent information, and Mr. McGinnis is very aware of. So,
All right.
okay.
Okay, all right. All right, so that takes us through all the yellow cards for this evening and brings us down to some people's favorite part of the meeting, and that's the adjournment. And so with that, I'll ask the superintendent and the attorney if there's anything else that we need to cover while we're in session. Okay. Colleagues, we're all good here. Staff, okay. I don't see any association present. So with that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to adjourn this meeting.